Here it is. Assassin's Creed Unity. I've been on a quest recently to play through every Assassin's Creed game, and I've finally gotten to this one. Never played it. Not really. I played it for like a minute at a friend's house while we were waiting for him to get ready to go to a movie or something. Yeah, infamous Assassin's Creed Unity. No expectations. I played a little bit. I started already. Basically just finished the intro and picked up a chest. That's it. So, still early days. Ow. Yeah, I have like no expectations. I've heard many different things about this game over the years. I'm usually not one to put a lot of stock in what other people think because my taste is garbage and I don't like good games. Alright. So where are we at right now? We're getting chest. We're getting chest. The first thing that immediately sticks out is actually how really good the game looks. Like, this game is drop dead gorgeous, and it came out almost 10 years ago. It's pretty impressive. Oh shit, should I not be here? My bad. No, no, no. No, no, no. My bad. Still getting used to the controls because they are quite different. There's actually a crouch button, which is pretty cool. Take cover. So what do I do about this?
Need a change of britches?
Maybe.
Stop! I want to talk to you! Tell him all that fire, son! It's right here!
Oh shit. Yeah, dense crowds, that's another thing. There's an absolutely insane amount of NPCs. It's a lot of people. It's pretty impressive, honestly. Like, you could totally see why this game probably still is a bloody mess. I don't know. Haven't really progressed. Over here. Like, you just run in and out of interiors. They're not like canned animations or anything. There's just tons of open buildings and shit that I can go through. It's pretty insane. Where's this at? Oh, it's up there. Now this is probably inside, right? Like, that's not sitting on the roof. It is sitting on the roof, okay. Chest for me! I don't like how long the chest opening animation is. I liked it better in Black Flag and Rogue, where you just kick the fucking chest and get the treasure. But, you know. What is this? Shop? Good. This is what I do. I collect things. It's a problem. This is just the coolest thing ever. Just like, just being able to free run down a building instead of dropping on top of a guy or something to break my fall is really neat. Like, for some reason that just blows my mind. Excuse me, everybody. I am protagonist man. Oh, up. Where's this at? Oh, I bet it's in here. There he is. I'll be having it. Sorry, I opened the PlayStation menu for a second. It pauses the game when I do that. Typically, the way I play games like this, usually, is I like to collect everything around the main mission, and then do the main mission. So like, get all the collectibles and stuff that are around where I'm supposed to go, and then go do it. And also, it helps to not be overwhelmed by icons later, because you see that complaint a lot with people who play these games, where they don't like picking up collectibles, but they keep doing all the things that mark collectibles on their map, so their map just becomes inundated with icons. And I've always been one that kind of argues against that. It's like, it's kind of a you problem. Like, just don't do the thing that marks all the collectibles on the map, right? Oh shit. Hi there.
Come here! Get over here, you!
Draw a weapon? I'm pressing the draw a weapon button. Okay. I can't draw the weapon before he's drawn his.
He can't have me then.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, I still don't know how the combat works. That was a mistake. There's like a separate dodge button from the parry button. Usually, if an action required you to dodge, you would just press the counter button and your character would dodge. But now dodge is its own command, which takes some getting used to. So like, I have to remember to press X, not circle, when someone's gonna hit me with a big attack. And I don't even know if human shield is still a thing. Let's run right back in here and try this again.
You can't do what you please.
Oh, nope. Nope. Dodge gunshot. Oh, okay. That's why there was a little target on me. Hooyah. You really shouldn't have come here, bro. Okay, so in order to draw my weapon, I have to hold the button. That's why it wasn't working. So if I want to start a fight, it actually is like a commitment. Which is good, because it means you won't do it by accident. Okay. Chicken! Loot. It's interesting that none of these guys are dead. Cockade? What is a cockade? Okay. Oh, database, sorry. A circle of ribbons, usually worn on a hat. The cockade of the Revolution represented the colors we see today in the French flag: blue, white, and red, sometimes known as the tricolor. The idea of the three-color flag was presented to Louis XVI by Lafayette during their meeting at the Hôtel de Ville on July 17, 1789. Next to the blue and red colors of the cockade of Paris, Lafayette had added the white cockade of the monarchy, conferring upon the sovereign a central role in the new definition of powers. Note that the king didn't last, but his symbol. So I had medicine. Oh my gosh. And what's interesting is that sword isn't on my wheel. Sword is just on me at all times. It's interesting. I like how dreary and overcast it's gotten. That's pretty nice. Upstairs. Holy crap, all the people that are in this store. Assuming there's a window here? Yep. Holy shit, this place is packed. It really is an impressive number of NPCs. This is crazy. Don't talk to me like that. Whatever it is you said. I took like 3 years of French and I don't remember half the shit I learned. I was a slacker in school. And it put me at a pretty severe disadvantage in life. Stay in school, kids. Okay, so cockades are like animus fragments. They're just kind of out and about, sitting around. That's good to know. I don't know why they're cockades instead of just animus fragments. Sure. Oh god, yeah. The parkour is very satisfying. It just takes a bit to get used to the controls. Like, I'm so used to not having to hold a second button to go up anymore. Because, like, Assassin's Creed 3 through Rogue, that wasn't a thing you had to do anymore. But now it's back to having to hold X to go up. That's how it used to be in, like, the original ones. From Assassin's Creed 1 through Revelations, you had to hold the trigger and X to go up. Okay. Now let's do this and... That's crazy how that's all in real time like that. There's no weird awkward loading when I open and close the map. God, that's awesome. I'm never gonna get over how cool that is. Okay. Climb leap? There we go. I was doing it wrong. You have to let go of high profile to do the climb leap. Interesting. Very cool. Nice. Oh boy. Alright, well... Let's start from the bottom here. Sorry if this is boring. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Fuck you! What is this doing up here? I always have to wonder with stuff like this. Why is there a haystack up here? What's the point of that? Oh man, that's beautiful. So smooth. I am very impressed. It kind of makes me sad that they would eventually just scrap all this and go for like the basic free climbing that's in the newer games, which is still really cool. I don't know. Hotel de Menu Plaisir? I think that's how you say that. Built at the command of Louis XV to house the organization responsible for preparing royal ceremonies and festivals, here in Versailles is most famous as the site of the Estates Generales in 1789. During the Revolution, it served variously as a courthouse, barracks, and bread distribution center. Much of the historic building was destroyed in 1800 when the property was sold to a private citizen. Today, the site is home to the Centre de Baroque Musique du Versailles. Hurts my brain. Damn it, quiet in here. There's no people in here. I open the door. No. Oh, it sounded like someone was knocking on my door, but that's the sounds of my character's footsteps echoing. There's an echo. That's nuts. Alright, looks like I gotta go around the palace.
S'il continue, il va se rompre le cou.
Whoops. Excuse me.
Stop, you! I'll bury you! Stop it!
Oh, I gotta pay more attention. Oh, I'm dead as hell. Okay. The combat's actually kind of difficult. People do big damage. I gotta be more careful. Oh well, I got the chest before I was murdered, so don't need to go back down there. Oh, I got down a little too early. I need to be on that. Go. Whoa. Money. Not sure what the currency is here. I like an F. Door? No, there was a door where I was though. Dummy. Oh, this door is closed. Have to find a different entrance. Damn, all these doors are closed. Aha! It was in the inner courtyard. What does that symbol mean? I don't know what the difference is between all these different chests. Like there's like normal chests. The yellow ones I think are called initiate chests, and then the blue one is nomad chests, and they all just give me money. Like I don't know what the difference is. I'm gonna have to Google that. Like that echo is so realistic, right? And pretty cool and immersive, but it's fucking me up. I keep thinking someone's knocking on my door. But it's just the echoes of my own footsteps. God, look at all those people.
Ils ont mis en condition au vertige.
I'll scotch you, outlaw!
It's like parrying in this game is just parry. Like there doesn't seem to be a counter option. Which is interesting. I'm using all of my medicine. 'Cause I keep getting into dumb fights that are very avoidable. But I mean, that's the Assassin's Creed way, isn't it? Oh, medicine. I was just saying. Oh, okay. I think I saw an open window. There we go. Hey, everybody! I like how they all freak out, because obviously I'm not supposed to be up here. I didn't come in through a door. Excuse me, madame. Hello. This is great. Having a good time. Just doing what I do. I might as well grab this. Cocaine? No, it's above me, isn't it? I love how far this dude can jump. Like, he can make some pretty insane leaps. Go. That's right, that wasn't even what I marked. Interesting. Does this go through? Sure does. Right. Hi, everybody.
You murdering dog!
Combat hard. I gotta be careful. I keep saying that, but I keep not being careful. Huh? Cover. I like how he's just going, ooh, ah, as if he didn't get, like, cut to ribbons by a fucking sword. Sounds like he stubbed his toe, just, ooh. Ouch, jeez. Oh, man. That's pretty tender. My fucking sword wounds. Oh. Oh, just go right through. Whoop. Excuse me. Wait, where was that chest? Hey. Set the marker. Oh, it's in the attic. Interesting. Nice. go.
Les domestiques nous ont abandonnés les uns après les autres. Un peu de patience. Promets que ton attente sera
No. Almost there. Oh. Oh, okay. I thought she was T-posing, but no. They're like doing a fitting or something. You got me. I was like, oh, there's a T-pose. That's the first one. No, they were doing a thing. You fucking got me. Alright. So it says one more collectible. So which one of these doesn't count? Because there's 3 collectibles left here. Oh, 19 of 20 chests. So the blue chest, I'm assuming, doesn't count towards completion. So what is it? I'm gonna have to Google that. Alright, hold on. I like how if I hold free climb up, right, it skips the window. So instead of going in the window, he keeps climbing because I'm holding the climb up button. And that's very cool. That chest didn't even give me anything. I didn't get anything from that chest. What was the point of that? Oh, press L2 to enter a window? Alright. That's good to know. Okay, nice. I'm gonna Google the difference between all these chests, because I'm curious. Right? Play online for extra content. Servers are unreachable. Well, no extra content for me, eh? Alright. Must have been some sort of error. Because, like, I was online last night. Like, I know it was working. Alright. The Assassin's Creed Unity. Shut up. What's the difference between the chest types? That's what I'll type. Let's see what we get. Okay. So, there's 4 different kinds of chests. The white ones are normal chests that you just go and open. There are red ones that require lockpicks. The blue ones require a now defunct companion app, which I actually remember hearing about that when the game first came out. The people were annoyed that they had to have a companion app to open the chests. And that's why the blue chests don't count towards my collectibles, because they're like extra chests that come from the companion app. And then there was gold chests, which were linked to some sort of stat tracking social service called Assassin's Creed Initiates, which again is also defunct, so now they're all just openable without any of that stuff. That's interesting. I remember hearing about that too. Early reviews complaining they had to sign up for a separate service to unlock some of the chests. And that is dumb, and I'm glad that's not like that anymore. The Estates Generale. An urgent message has arrived for an absent Monsieur de la Serre. Track him down and deliver it. Post haste. Sure thing.
Thrown out onto the street yet?
Oh, you would love that, wouldn't you?
It'd break my heart.
Olivier, if I weren't here, who'd do all your work for you?
The horses need brushing, boy. Get to it.
Certainement, monsieur.
Sire de la Serre, wait! Nom de Dieu, nom de Dieu.
Some trouble, mon ami?
A letter for Sire de la Serre. It's very important.
Oh, calm yourself, Perrault. That letter won't reach Monsieur de la Serre any faster if you drop dead of exhaustion. Give it here. I'll catch
You
him.
must receive it today. It's very...
Very important. Yes, I heard you the first time. I'll see that he gets it.
Oh shit, alright, let's go.
Monsieur de la Serre! Stop!
Bad luck, lad. You'll have to go around.
Make way, make way! Damn it, slow down!
Apparently, walnut is a popular finish this season.
Who is driving this coach? Pelops? Monsieur de la Serre! Please excuse. Wrong carriage. What I need is a bird's eye view.
Whoop. Welcome to the database. Hello, we haven't met, but you can call me Sean. I just thought I'd say it seems Abstergo has put together rather a lovely historical database that you can peruse as you're running around. Unfortunately for you, their historian gave things a bit of a, well, let's just say they have a particular viewpoint they're keen to get across. By which I mean they're Templars, and they think like Templars, and they lie about people who aren't Templars. So I'm going to go through and add in some explanatory footnotes as I go to give you a bit more of a balanced perspective. Well, I'll try for balance. I'll aim for it. Balance is certainly something worth striving for, or at least thinking about. Or maybe I'll just mention it here and you can be your own judge. Also, and far be it from me to criticize, because they've given it quite some effort, but the way they write this history is dry as freeze-dried, dry-cleaned, dry thing, with a particularly chronic case of dry mouth, which has been left out in the sun and then popped in the oven. So let me at least attempt to make it that smidgen more readable, although that's the last time I'll ever use the word smidgen. Les Miserables. Oh boy. Shown here. Look, I just want to get this out of the way, because as soon as anyone mentions the French Revolution, someone else's eyes light up and they start going, do you hear the people sing? In that weird way people do when they're both talking and singing at the same time, and then I have to listen to a god-awful rendition of the song from that god-awful musical, and I seriously start to consider trapping my fingers in a door just so I have something else to think about. The French Revolution, the one you're in, started in 1789. Have you got that? Les Miserables, a novel by Victor Hugo, later turned into a musical by someone who very clearly hates me personally and is dead set on making my life a living, breathing hell, is set in Paris in the time period between 1815 and 1832, which was an entirely different revolution. Stop looking for Jean Valjean, alright? He is not here. Anyway, I prefer cats, it's more believable. I mean, he was always mean, but damn. Coming on a little strong. It's cool to see him again, though. He wasn't in Rogue. Yep. Man, that's beautiful. No. Okay. See, it is just left stick to climb. X is climb leap. It's good to know. Yeah. Anyway, Assassin's Creed works. Jeez. Very cool.
There you are. You're not getting in here, boy.
Move away or I'll crack your skull!
No entry.
Wait, did I? We forgot you.
Stay alert. Do you not understand? Not here, you don't. You are protecting.
Back down! Do not come this way!
This isn't the right way.
I'll knock your senseless!
Something's not right.
J'ai des doutes sur la conclusion.
There we go. Estate General of 1789. The Estate General was a general assembly representing the three classes, or estates, of French society. The clergy, the first estate, the nobility, the second estate, and the peasantry, the third estate. The Estate General was not a legislative body like the English Parliament. Rather, its role was to advise the king, with whom all authority lay. I have often imagined what it might be like to be a king. I think my first rule would be to make all crime illegal. Boom, just like that. You're welcome. It was infrequently called, before the onset of the Revolution. The last meeting of the Estate General was in 1614. The Estate General sat for several weeks in May and June 1789 to address the financial crisis facing the realm, thanks in no small part to the French government's role in financing the American Revolution. The meeting quickly came to an impasse over the first item on the agenda, however, whether the Estate General should vote collectively by estate, which would give an advantage to the first and second estates, or vote individually, which would give the more numerous third estate the advantage. Deadlocked, the deputies of the third estate began to discuss political reforms rather than the financial crisis that had been the original agenda. The meeting of the Estate General dissolved when the Third Estate declared itself the National Assembly and announced that it would conduct the nation's affairs. The First and Second Estates were invited to join the Assembly, but it was clear which way the political wind was blowing. The French Revolution was beginning. Very cool. Oh, Third Estate. If the First Estate was the church and the Second Estate was the nobility, the Third Estate was everyone else. It comprised beggars, peasants, the bourgeoisie, notaries, doctors, lawyers, artisans, bankers, and even scholars who, at the time, represented approximately 96% of the population. I don't think that means 96% of the population were scholars. If it did, this would be one terrifically nerdy time period. I dare say you and I would have fit in rather well. In a pamphlet entitled What is the Third Estate, published in 1789, Saillet wrote, "What is the Third Estate? Everything. What has it been until now in the political order? Nothing. What does it ask? To become something. Nothing be done without it. Everything would be infinitely better without the other two orders." Pretty good. I go in here. Window. Guard. Like, I'm clearly supposed to go this way, right? Climb up here. Nope. Okay, gotta go around. I don't like how Eagle Vision has a fucking cooldown, but whatever, I'll live with it.
La dette de l'État, déjà immense, à mon avènement au trône.
Where the devil are they?
En a été la cause. L'augmentation des impôts en a été la suite nécessaire.
Not these two
Et a
again.
rendu plus
Must have tailed me from the
sensible
estate.
leur inégale répartition.
Son of a bitch. Estate General Deputies. In March 1789, elections were held to select the 578 deputies of the three estates. The list of deputies included such men as Robespierre, Mounier, Barnave, Saillet, and the Comte Mirabeau, who, although a noble, chose to sit as a deputy of the Third Estate. Most of the men who comprised the Third Estate were in their late 20s or early 30s. The plain black clothes worn by the deputies of the Third Estate contrasted sharply with the luxurious, brightly colored garments of the nobles and the clergy. Also, they were very slimming. Fuck off. Yeah, don't run. That was bad. Oh, that's the king. King Louis XVI. Louis was never meant to become king, but his father died in 1765, followed by his two older brothers. When his grandfather, Louis XV, died in 1774, he came to a throne for which he was ill prepared. Louis and his wife would fail to provide France with an heir for 7 years, to the derision of the French people. Even the celebrations of their wedding day would end in tragedy, with the death of 100 Parisians following a stampede at a fireworks display. An indecisive man, in the words of one deputy, the king spent his whole life saying each evening that he was mistaken that same morning. As his younger brother, the future Charles X, would say, not without irony, trying to get Louis to hold to a position was like trying to hold greased billiard balls together. Amazing that phrase never caught on, really, but then trying to get a phrase to catch on is like oiling a hammer and expecting a cat to marry it. You can use that one if you like. His 19-year reign would become increasingly agitated since the court was incapable of reform. Louis XV had merely covered up the nation's problems without actually resolving anything. His heir wished to be called Louis the Severe, to contrast with the permissiveness and debauchery of his grandfather. But as far as public opinion was concerned, he would be Louis the Weak. Never mind Louis the Weak. There were so many men called Louis around you could never had. But you could have had a Louis of the Weak. Oh, that's funny. What decisions he actually managed to make turned against him. The war with England to support Franklin and Washington would ruin the kingdom, and by 1789, debt-ridden France had reached a state of virtual bankruptcy. This situation was exacerbated by the trade treaty with London. The British, who were way ahead of the French technologically, inundated France with their industrial products, spelling ruin for French artisans. Some of these products would even be used in the revolutionary riots. While food shortages were due to bad crops and weather, those who were hungry blamed them on the rich. Meanwhile, pampered and pensioned in Versailles, far away from their roots, the nobility had become another adversary that would further undermine the system. The same went for the lower orders of the clergy, who shared the general misery of their flock. The king didn't see it coming. The nobles would bring about a revolution to which they too would fall victim. In summer of 1791, with the revolution heating up, Louis approved the perilous plan to secretly flee from Paris to supposedly loyal troops in the east. The royal family's arrest of Varennes would spell the end of absolute monarchy. To the air were invaded, Louis took refuge in the National Assembly. The damage was done. Shortly thereafter, he was stripped of his power, arrested, and sent to the medieval fortress of the Temple, and from there, to his doom. His trial was brief, and ultimately only for show. Witnesses who testified in his favor were massacred in 2 instances, while the documents that could have proved him innocent were not passed on to his defenders. In short, it was a travesty. The judges had all but decided on the verdict from the outset. The absolute monarch, who didn't even reign over his court, was influenced by all those who surrounded him. What should I do? He asked the reactionary French writer Rivarol in September 1789. Act like a king, came the reply. If only. Louis, who had a passion for geography and great exploration, and whose hobbies were locksmithing and carpentry, was simply not cut out for the job. In my experience, you should never trust a man who lists his hobby as locksmithing. Yeah.
Et finirait par égarer totalement les opinions si on ne se hâtait. How long do you think you'll be talking? Modéré. Séancez de confiance, messieurs, que je vous ai rassemblés.
So, who or what will take its place? Another king? A council of capable men?
That is the question, isn't it?
A truce, then.
What the devil was that about? Now, we can resolve this without recourse to violence, can't we? Get him, Hugo! I suppose not. Get it!
Oh boy. Honoré Gabriel Riquetti, Comte de Mirabeau. Butchered that. Born at Le Bignon, Mirabeau suffered a virulent case of smallpox at a young age, which left his face scarred with pockmarks. His family was quite wealthy, and his father obtained for him a commission in the cavalry. But the army was a poor fit for him. Young Mirabeau became embroiled in an affair with his colonel's wife. When the affair came to light, Mirabeau's father had him imprisoned on the Ile de Ré. He spent many years in and out of prison, always one step ahead of creditors, and more often than not, angry husbands. Later, while imprisoned at Fort de Joux, he seduced his jailer's wife and escaped with her. He settled in Amsterdam, where he became involved with various occult societies. Later arrested by the police, he was again imprisoned for 3 years in the castle of Vincennes, where he wrote dozens of texts in which he condemned the arbitrary nature of French justice, as well as an essentially pornographic text, Erotica Biblion. At this point, I should just say, this bed-hopping, war-dodging, erotica-writing anti-establishment gigolo sounds like the most French man ever. I mean, he took Frenchmanhood to whole new heights. And when I say Frenchmanhood, I'm talking about his level of Frenchness, not his French manhood. Actually, I'm talking about that as well. Once released from prison, his life changed when, in Neuchâtel, he met the Genevese revolutionaries in exile, including financier Etienne Clavier, who would play an important role in Paris. These talented men formed the foundations of Mirabeau's group and political reasoning. They wrote, he signed. This explains his prolific production. Politicians have always used ghostwriters. He attacked the banks in his texts in return for payment by another banker, thus allowing him to pay off his mountain of debt. He also attacked French minister Charles-Alexandre de Calonne, which led to yet another lettre de cachet and his subsequent exile in Prussia, where he acquired the certainty that the middle classes shall only be freed by joining forces with the lower classes. In any case, the nobility wanted nothing to do with this strange marquis. At the outset of the revolution, he was elected to represent the Third Estate at the Estates Generales. For all that, the inspiration for his political workshop lay with his friends. Mirabeau, an excellent orator, was merely their spokesman. The remainder of his story is better known. His services were paid for by the king as early as October 1789, even though the court never heeded his advice. Proof of his secret dealings with the king came with the discovery of the famous iron chest at the Tuileries Palace, containing, among other things, correspondence and a list of payments. However, by this time he had already been in the grave for 16 months. Prior to his death, when his health, damaged by his excesses, had all but failed him, his last speech was delivered by Talleyrand, but in actual fact had been written by Genevese pastor Etienne Salognon Rebaz. Cool, I don't know who those people are. You done?
Easy, big fella.
You done?
Not your day, is it, Victor? To your health, gentlemen.
You boy! So, what are you doing there?
Running!
Guards in blue are the police. If you attack or kill anyone in their line of sight, they will attack.
He's getting away!
Obvious. Ooh. Ah! Ah! You shot me! Holy shit!
No getting back in there now. Catch them back at home, I suppose.
Ooh. That was fun. Good job. Yeah, figured all that out. I don't actually remember if I need to mark main missions like that. Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Like older games, they would just be marked in the world by default. Looks like I do have to mark them in this one. Helps to have a visual in front of me while I'm running around. This is pretty cool so far. Nothing major has happened yet, so it could still all go terribly wrong. What are we at right now? 102? Most of that was reading database entries. I think history is fun. It's one of the reasons I like Assassin's Creed, is that you get introduced to interesting people in history, and it encourages you to go research them in your own time. It's like, oh, I'm gonna look that guy up, he seems kinda cool. So yeah, if I hold free run up, I jump around, and I hop farther. It's like just basic free run, you won't make big leaps or anything. At least that's what I garnered from that. Woo! Oh, nice. It's a sick carriage. High society. Elise leaves for Paris in the morning. Sneak into the ball at the Palais de Versailles to spend the evening with her.
Bonsoir, Olivier. Has Monsieur de la Serre returned?
Senor de la Serre is not expected until late.
Ah, well. I suppose I'll just pass the time with Elise, then.
Don't get your hopes up just yet. Mademoiselle is at a private soiree in her honor at the palace.
A party? I wasn't invited.
Neither were the horses.
I'm sure she just misplaced my invitation. I'll find my own way in. How late is late?
Perhaps an hour, perhaps 3, perhaps not at all. I do not question the comings and goings of my betters.
I'll just wait here, then.
What a shithead.
Mémoire de Monsieur d'Artagnan. Elise's favorite. I could just slip it under the door. He'd see it the instant he returned. Le traité du monde et de la lumière de Descartes. Never could get through that one. Les tragiques. Too depressing.
Alright. Slip this letter into the door here.
There. Safe and sound, and only slightly delayed. And now, to the palace. I couldn't sneak through a sewer in these threads, much less a ball. Here, mon ami. Let me take care of that.
Well, thank you, young man.
Pretty smooth.
Maximilien Robespierre. No guest.
Arno. Le Chevalier du Thelem.
Invitation, s'il vous plaît.
About that, I had one, of course, but on the way...
No invitation, no admittance. Now clear the queue. Next, please. Charles Gabriel Sivert. 2 guests. Next, please.
I like how Robespierre was just like casually right there.
Quite the turnout. Quite.
Let's just put in a short appearance to be polite. I'm tired.
As you say.
Third estate. Practically up in arms. They're having a party.
What's this party for, anyway?
Not sure. Some kind of confirmation ceremony for the Delasair girl.
Is it shift change yet?
Go back to the party.
Is there no corner orbiting? Interesting.
Cost more than my rent.
Oh, that's interesting. If I'm crouching, guards show up on the minimap, but when I'm not crouching, they don't.
She does not.
She does. Come to Gondor, we've had a bird cage in it. Little doves fluttering around.
You up there! Stop! Get down!
Will you let me back in if I do?
What? Certainly not!
Well then, if it's all the same to you, I think I'll stay up here.
You, come here!
Not the most subtle man, Arno.
See you in the garden later, yes. Of course.
Why are those guys gold?
Quite the turnout this evening.
I can't remember the last time we were all together like this.
It must have been that business with,
And I would thank you not to speak about it.
Madam.
M'accorderiez-vous cette danse pour gentilhomme?
Merci. Un autre jour.
Oof. She was so polite, too. Elise Delasair. The only daughter of Francois and Julie de la Serre, Elise grew up in a modestly wealthy but incredibly privileged environment. As a member of the aristocracy in the waning days of the ancient regime, she had access to the finest tutors, medicine, and food available. After her mother's death in 1778, Elise spent a great deal of time traveling, including several years of study in Paris. That's it? Interesting.
And so I said to her, Marie, you call her... Did you see what she's wearing?
Spread out.
What do you expect? She's half savage.
I'll not be made a mock of by the likes of him.
I hear she spends her nights gambling
So those other people highlighted in gold must be important characters. That's usually what gold means in Eagle Vision.
Influence.
Oh, you were a worse one.
I love that the painting there, silently judging.
Are you wearing one of my father's suits?
Are you wearing a dress?
Don't even start. I feel like a mummy wrapped up in this thing.
Must be quite an occasion to get you so fancy.
It's not like that. Truth be told, it's a lot of ceremony and pontification. Dull as dirt.
Well, when you don't invite me to your parties, everyone suffers.
I did try, but my father was adamant.
Your father?
Go. I'll distract them.
What? You're kicking me out?
It's complicated. I'll explain later, but for now, out the window.
Oh, no. You're not turning this into a repeat of that apple roll show.
Stop being such a baby. I'm sure there aren't any guard dogs this time. Go!
Oh dear, this isn't the billiard room. Okay. Oh, I can just tap it to be stealthy. I don't have to hold it.
No. Waste of time. There's nobody out here.
What? That's odd. Just power. All right. He can vanish at will. Ooh. Something's going on. Hell?
There's something about that man. Oh well.
Ah, piss. Alright. There it is. It's way down here. Load that checkpoint. I clearly completely ballsed that up. Enemies remember you after conflict ends. That? Yeah, that's important. I need to remember that.
Could have been on party duty. Waste of time. There's nobody out here.
Is he gonna turn around? Just gonna go for it.
Who's even going to come out here?
10 to 1 I end the night cleaning a rich man's clothes for shoes.
You all right,
Nice.
monsieur? Too much of the king's champagne? Monsieur? Monsieur de la Serre? Monsieur de la Serre!
Sivir, come away!
Guards! Help! Murder!
Oh.
He's killed Lord de la Serre.
Well, shit. Youth in Versailles. Okay, so that was sequence 1 done. Intrigue. Initial incident. So Ardo was framed for killing his girlfriend's dad. I guess they're not really dating, but I guess they hook up occasionally. It sure is loading a while. Okay, there we go. That took a long time.
No, it wasn't me. Tie me up, wielding the knife. Please, have mercy.
Talia est omnis divisa in partes tres.
They're killing us! Oh God, have mercy! They're killing the prisoners in here!
That's enough of that, you degenerate!
Where am I?
In hell.
They're coming! They're coming to kill us all!
Hello? I must speak to someone!
The Bastille. The Bastille was one of the many construction projects undertaken by Charles V, and was intended to protect the Porte Saint-Antoine Gate and its adjoining Saint-Paul Palace. As the centuries wore on and the fortress became less useful as a fortification, it was used more and more often as a prison, finally being completely dedicated to that purpose under the reign of Louis XIII. The prisoners held there, who rarely numbered more than 40 each year, were most commonly political prisoners. In 1789, the Bastille was deemed useless, and was costly to maintain, with 250 soldiers for a mere 9 prisoners. I had an idea for how to bring the cost down. Fire 247 soldiers. Their system is like having a plane with 1 seat but hundreds of captains. Hang on, that sounds brilliant. This was at a time when Paris was packed with prisons of all shapes and sizes. Nonetheless, it was seen as a symbol of the oppression of the Ancien regime, and when the French Revolution broke out, it was one of the first buildings to be looted and destroyed. The revolutionaries' quarry became quite literally that, as the mob demolished the building and put its stones to better use. Some of the stones were used to consolidate the Pont de la Concorde, others were taken as individual or collective relics. Many were carved into tiny models of the entire fortress and sold as souvenirs. That would have been a dope souvenir. Get like a fucking model of the Bastille that's carved out of a stone taken from the Bastille. That would be dope. Francois de la Serre. Okay. Little information about Francois de la Serre survives. A minor nobleman, he kept an estate in Versailles and a smaller house in Paris, and was known to be a close confidant of the king and of Mirabeau. His wife Julie died sometime around 1777, and Delcerre was left to raise his daughter Elise on his own. He died under mysterious circumstances in 1789. You see this sort of whitewashing a lot when a notable Templar falls out of favor. Someone steps out of line or fails to keep up with the time, and suddenly the rich tapestry that is a unique, lovely human being is reduced to a historical footnote about how terrible they are. A bit like Americans and their celebrities, really. That's true. Le Marais. Located in the heart of Paris, the Marais district's finest hours would come during the 17th century when the many aristocrats who lived there transformed it into a fashionable district. In the 18th century, the nobility gradually abandoned this district in favor of the Faubourg Saint-Honoré or the Faubourg Saint-Germain. In spite of this departure, the Marais would always retain its image as an aristocratic district, which meant that with the coming of the Revolution, rioters would set about destroying the many symbols of royalty and nobility that were found there. It was a wonderfully convenient sort of one-stop shop for those of the riotous persuasion. With the Revolution, the district changed progressively. The abandoned townhouses were taken up by merchants to form warehouses or workshops. The beautiful homes were thus preserved, and so the Marais became inhabited by more modest people who kept shops or practiced craft trades, which in turn gave way to small factories and semi-industrialized trades of the 19th century. That's pretty cool. Oh hey, a guy. Oh hey, more guys. Can I talk to you?
Welcome to your new home.
Oh God! It's inhuman! The blood! So much blood!
What are you staring at, pisspot?
Hey, wait a minute. That symbol right there is one of the ones that was in Desmond's cell in the original Assassin's Creed. That's some, like, first civilization shit. So I just have to go to sleep? Yeah, alright.
Where'd you come by this, pisspot?
I'm in no mood for this. Give it back.
Take it back. If you think you can.
I really like this music.
What's the matter, my delicate flower? Did I hurt your feelings? Pathetic. Pathetic.
Then leave on the old man. Make it bleed.
Pathetic. Stop wasting my time, pisspot. Well struck, pisspot. See if your defense is as good. So much effort for a broken antique.
The only broken antique in here is flapping his idiot.
Say that again.
Got nothing more to say, old man.
Give him what for? Take the bastard down a peg.
Give me what's mine, and go back to your crazy drawings, old man.
Drawings?
He's here. Everywhere. Scribbled like chicken scratches all over this cell. Where?
Come here, you little piss boy.
Get your hands off me!
Look at the wall!
What are you doing?
Concentrate. Concentrate.
What are they?
Messages from the past. I had myself thrown into half the prisons in Paris in search of these. What's your name, boy?
Arno. Arno Victor Dorian.
Dorian. Of course. Pierre Belec. I knew your father.
Bully for you.
He died at Versailles. What? 76? 77? December, as I recall, no witnesses.
How did you...
Your father was an assassin, Arno. He gave his life, fighting for the liberty of all mankind. You stick with me, you might just live long enough to join the Brotherhood. Honor your father's memory.
Listen, I'm sure your little cult is a delightful bunch, but I'm not interested. The only thing I care about is finding Elise.
How are you planning on doing that from in here?
Alright, sick. We're gonna go through a little training arc. We're gonna do a prison break. It's gonna be awesome. This guy's probably gonna die while we're doing it. Just trying to think ahead. Is there a revolution going on out there?
Again.
Oh, that's how they're gonna get out. The revolution is gonna storm the fucking Bastille.
What the hell is going on out there?
Citizens are restless. Keep an ear open. Opportunity might just come knocking soon.
That was cannon fire.
Sometimes opportunity sounds a lot like cannon fire.
Secure the prisoners.
Follow my lead.
Pierre Belec. Born in New France sometime around 1740, Pierre Belec joined the French colonial militia at the age of 16. At the start of the 7 Years' War, he served with some distinction, earning a commendation for valor at the Battle of Fort Bull, but mustered out and traveled to France in 1762. As luck would have it, just barely missing a massive purge of the colonial branch of the Brotherhood by the Templars. Don't worry, those don't happen anymore. Well, hardly ever. You know what? Lock your doors, just to be safe. He seems to have settled in Paris, judging from the numerous arrest records in his name over the next 2 decades. He may have been at the Bastille in 1789, but no conclusive proof naming him as one of the prisoners has ever surfaced.
Take cover!
Hey, no more whimpering.
Prison is up against the wall.
On whose authority?
I told you this was going to end badly. Silence! Stay back! Prison is up against the wall. Stay back!
Right.
Nice.
Let's get out of this shell.
Actual swords, let's hit it. If you want me to run like I mean it, then you need to run faster.
Keep Murphy for a bit pissed off.
Nice.
Belec, is the door open? We have a problem.
Full speed! Need to catch him! Any of
Sick.
Get out of these bastards in my sleep. You've got to be kidding. Got it! Let's go, Pitfall!
Out the window. Come on. Citizen!
Hold there, citizen!
Oh, shit. Okay, well, what am I supposed to do about that, exactly? It's like, oh, climb up the wall, but also you will get shot. I guess maybe kill the guys with guns first,
You've got to be kidding.
so instead of being dumb about it.
Let's go, Pitfall!
Out the window. Come on.
We're just using fucking smoke bombs like the game keeps telling me to. I'm not up. Hey Arno, what are you doing? That's a red one, I need a lockpick for that.
This way! Fire! Fire, damn you! Stop the prisoners! Stop right there! Fucking yourself! Prisoners, hold! Give up! There's nowhere to run. Throw down your weapons! Stop right there! You! Drop your weapons! There's no escape!
Oh fuck. You got him.
Where now? Up! Brilliant! And how do we get down again? Trust me! I surrender! I surrender! What are you waiting for, Pisspot? It's time to jump. What? Prison scrambled your brains, old man.
Drink took care of that a long time ago.
Now get up here! I can't, that's impossible! Impossible? That's the purview of every assassin boy! If you can pluck your head out of your own arse, come find us! Make a great fit. Goodbye, Pisspot! You! Back away from the ledge!
Shit, that's cool. An actual leap of faith. That was pretty good. That was well earned. It's kind of exciting. These loading screens, though, my god.
That's
some welcome.
One can't be too careful. Not after what happened.
Elise,
Haven't you done enough to repay my father's kindness?
Elise, please. You can't believe I killed Monsieur de la Serre. Your father, he wasn't the man you thought he was. Neither of our fathers were.
I know exactly who my father was, Arnaud. And I know who yours was. I suppose it was inevitable. You an assassin, me a Templar.
You?
Does that shock you? My father always meant for me to follow in his footsteps. Now all I can do is avenge him.
I swear to you, I had nothing to do with his death.
But you did.
The letter. Oh, shit.
No! By my life, I swear I didn't. Is that?
A letter intended for my father the day he was murdered. Read it.
That wasn't really Arnaud's fault, though.
Grandmaster de la Serre, I have learned through my agents that an individual within our order plots against you. I beg you to be on your guard at the initiation tonight. Trust no one, not even those you call friends. May the Father of Understanding guide you. L.
I found that on the floor of my father's room. A no pin.
I didn't know.
Neither did my father.
How could I have known?
Just go. Please.
No, I mean, he makes a good point. Like, it wasn't even his fault the letter was late. Some other fucking guy was supposed to deliver it and didn't do it right. I suppose he probably could have just gone to the guards and went, "Hey, this is an urgent letter from Monsieur de la Serre. Can you please give it to him?" Yeah, something like that. Like, post haste, if you would. I wonder if moving this to internal storage would make it load faster. I'll have to check that out next time I play it. The loading screens aren't that bad, all things considered, but I'm just not used to them being so long. Playing a lot of PS5 games lately, would just get like annoyed at the tiniest bit of loading the game has to do. What even is that? Oh.
The devil is this supposed to mean?
Good question. What is that supposed to mean? Patty. Paris is now open. You can now explore the city or play the next single-player mission to continue Arnaud's story. Cool. Rate this memory. All the memories so far have been 5 stars. It's been pretty cool. I'm very impressed. Here. Storming of the Bastille. With the price of bread at an all-time high in July of 1789, Paris was on the brink of revolt. Believe me, at that stage it had been revolting for some time. When word reached the city that Louis XVI had dismissed his finance minister, it was taken as a sign of an impending coup attempt by conservative factions within the government. Seeking to arm themselves against this coup, a procession of radicals gathered and headed for the left bank, where they seized some 40,000 muskets from the armory at the Hôtel des Invalides. However, there was no powder or shot to be had, and so the revolutionaries made for the Bastille. At the time, there were over 30,000 pounds of powder and shot stored within the prison. The governor, Bernard-René Delaunay, had less than 100 men, mainly veteran soldiers and Swiss guards, to hold the prison against perhaps 1,000 insurgents. Delaunay refused to surrender, and his forces were quickly overwhelmed. The powder was seized, and the prisoners, all 7 remaining in the Bastille, were freed. When told of the attack by the Duke of La Rochefoucauld, I fucked that up, Rochefoucauld? Jesus. Louis XVI was reported to ask, "Is it a revolt?" The Duke replied, "No, sire, it is a revolution." You say tomato, I say tomato. Actually, that one doesn't quite work so well written down. It's okay, Sean, I got you. Prise de la Bastille. That's interesting. It's a song. I'm not gonna try to talk over a song. We got more stuff about Elise. Seems likely she was getting a healthy dose of Templar training / indoctrination during this time. Must be nice to get your training along the French Riviera. I had to make do with a leaky shed in Wolverhampton. After her father's death, she seems to vanish from documented history, likely as a result of revolutionary efforts to purge records of the nobility, or the Templars trying to cover up one of their regime changes. That's more likely. Yeah, no smoke bombs. What is this pillar of light going on here? Oh, these are Paris stories. Interesting. Oh my god. It's huge. Is that the Bastille? Where's the place that I already explored? Where's that district at? God damn. Let's go hit a viewpoint. Get the lay of the land. Sainte-Chapelle. Sainte-Chapelle, or Holy Chapel, was built by Louis IX, later canonized as Saint Louis, to house Christ's crown of thorns, which he had just purchased from Baldwin II of Constantinople. Louis purchased the crown of thorns, that means. Christ didn't travel into the future to buy a crown of thorns from Baldwin II of Constantinople. He had ready access to thorns in biblical times. He didn't need to go all the way to Constantinople to find some bloke called Baldwin II. Also, Baldwin II? So Baldwin I suffered through life with that god-awful name, then decided to give it to his son as well? Some people. The edifice is a unique example of seemingly invisible stonework, since its windows take up all the space between the structural supports. Perhaps more extraordinary is that it was built in just 2 years, between 1246 and 1248. Wow. Believe me, I'm very familiar with European builders. Nothing else in their history has ever been built in just 2 years, not even a small wall or miniature water feature. It is set on 2 levels. The lower level was for Parisians and the people of the court. The upper level was for the king and his family. On important occasions, the king presented the crown, taken from the reliquary to which he alone had the key, to the kneeling congregation. It came close to being demolished during the Revolution, but would eventually be used as a flower store, a club room for the Section de la Cité, and finally a store for archiving old papers, which effectively saved it since it served the people. It bore a sign proclaiming national property for sale until 1837. All the sacred vessels and precious books had long since disappeared. Yep. so good to have the climbing leap again. That's been missing for so long. Ooh-wee, look at that shit. Nice. Okay, so where is... There it is. Is that hay? I can't actually tell. Yeah, that's hay. Alright. God, that feels so good. Palais de Justice. This ancient and ornate building that overlooks the Tour de la Horloge, with its elaborate clock featuring figures of justice and law, was initially built in 1296 by Philip IV of France, in spite of his financial worries. It was here that he consolidated the dispensation of justice, although the judges soon came to be infamous for their corruption. During the Revolution, the Palais housed the much-feared Revolutionary Tribunal. Nice. Alright. I feel like it's a good place to end it. Getting kind of hungry. So yeah, this has been fun. I was very pleasantly surprised by how not shit the game is. But then again, it's been like 10 years since it came out. It's probably been patched to here and back, so, you know, coming in late, getting a better experience, all that. But yeah, that's it.